Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a lovely week so far. I hope you're all healthy and strong and staying productive. Welcome Jainil. Welcome Banditya. Hi everyone. We are looking at an IELTS writing task 2. We're planning for a band 9 essay. And we're going to be working on the planning and the introduction to this essay in this class because that's very, very important. So if you want to get a band 9, if you want to go past that band 6, past that band 7, this is what you need to do. You need to plan the essay and you need to understand the correct strategies and steps to essay writing. Hi Raj. Students, this is a members chat class. Of course, everybody is welcome to watch. If you'd like to become a member of our channel, just click the join button next to the subscribe button. And good news, General English Help channel viewers, we will have memberships coming to our General English Help channel as well. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator. Hi Hasna. Hi Mr. Rahul Preet. June, good to see everybody. This lesson, students, is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com on both of our websites. We have tons of great materials. And we've still got this discount code going on for 20% off the premium IELTS package. Just use the code R4TYJ when you register for our premium package. The websites look like this. This is the academic IELTS website here with this blue background. Simply just click this red button to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so it's really, really worth it. You get tons and tons of materials. You get a My Student account where you have lots of help for writing as well as the other sections of the IELTS exam. So for writing help, you can click on these green Task 1 and Task 2 buttons to get help with editing. Okay. All right, for general IELTS, same idea, green background. Again, this big red button here. Again, it's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Welcome to our new members, by the way. I see that there are a couple of new members joining us today as well, which is fantastic. Good to see you. All right, everyone. So getting into the lesson a little bit more. For questions, send us an email, adrian@aehelp.com. If you send us your writing, we can give you a band score estimate for free. We can tell you where you are, roughly. Hi, Jyoti. Welcome to the class. We will have a speaking class after this one in about 90 minutes where everybody will be able to join the chat. We'll have more speaking and some reading later on in the week. All right, everyone. So we're going to get into today's writing. And I figured that today, just before we look at our Task 2 question, I would give you a little bit of kind of a tip, a side note, a little bit of like a, I don't know, you could call it a trick. But I think it's just clarity for writing for those of you who are confused by this. I know I am. I get confused by this sometimes, even after many, many years of writing English. So we're just going to look at these two interesting abbreviations that are commonly used in writing, the IE and the EG. Members, have you seen these in writing before, the IE and the EG? Many people have seen these, and I think there's a lot of confusion about what these actually are and how they're actually used. And sometimes native speakers and non-native speakers use these in their writing. And these are useful for Task 1 and Task 2, especially if you use them correctly. They can even get you some points for lexical resource and cohesion, but if you use them wrong, then it's really, really confusing. Welcome to our group of members, Nolan. And I was kind of looking at this and I thought, hey, it'd be kind of fun to make this clear for everybody. So I thought I'd go over these. These are actually coming from Latin, so anybody who's speaking Spanish or French or Latin-based languages, they're like, okay, I get it. And there's an important difference, okay? So keep this in mind, that there's a big difference with these, okay? All right, hi Nolan. Welcome to our group of members. That's awesome. Okay, so let's just go over this. This is just kind of a fun note. Take note of this. Remember this for your exam. So the abbreviation means we take the first letter of a word, okay? So IE here, students. IE, when you have I.E, and you're going to see this in writing oftentimes, and it's good to learn this, stands for id est. Okay, id est, again, coming from Latin. So, id est, Jyoti says, means that is. Yeah, and you're right. And when you think about that is, right, like some of you are probably like, well, what does that mean, that is, right? Can anybody paraphrase that is? So paraphrasing is a very important skill on the IELTS and in writing. How could you paraphrase that is in this context? Can anybody tell me? What does it actually mean? So when we say id est or that is, and we use this kind of IE in writing, what does that mean? Okay, let me know what you think a good paraphrase for that is. And then the opposite, or well, not the opposite, but the kind of the different expression that's often confused is the abbreviation EG, okay? And a lot of people think that means example given, which it kind of does, but it's actually still Latin. It means exempli gratia. So exempli gratia, meaning for example. And a lot of people think that IE also means for example, but it really doesn't, okay? So IE does not mean for example, okay? Yeah, June, very good. To be specific or to be more specific. Exactly, that's what it means, okay? So to be specific, very good. June, exactly, or more specifically. Okay, so that would be another way to say that, okay? And then the abbreviation EG means for example, which of course many of you know means like for instance, okay? So in your writing task too, like in body paragraphs, when you want to say for example, you can actually even shorten that to EG. Okay, and here are the examples that show you the difference here, okay? So this would be like a sentence where you would use this. One meal, i.e. breakfast, is included in the price of the room. Okay, so here we have i.e. And then in this next example here, I've taken kind of the same or similar content and used EG. So one meal, e.g., breakfast, lunch, or dinner is included in the price of the room. So here I just kind of added lunch or dinner to make it clearer, but that could be hidden, so it could be like that too, okay? Now, let's say you're traveling somewhere, of course you're using English, you're traveling to another country, and you read this about the hotel that you're going to, right? There's a really important difference. In the first one, can you get lunch in the price of the room? So in this one here, can you get lunch with the price of the room? So in the first example, if I go to this hotel and I read this brochure or this advertisement and it says one meal, i.e. breakfast, is included in the price of the room, and I go and I try to get my free lunch or I try to get my free dinner, are they going to give me a free dinner or a free lunch? Carolina says no. Yeah, exactly. They will not. Okay, so that's the important difference here in the meaning. So here, it's basically that is, or to be more specific, breakfast is included in the price of the room. It's only breakfast that's included. Okay. In the second example, where it says one meal, e.g. breakfast, lunch, or dinner is included in the price of the room, it's going to be one of those meals. So any one of those meals, okay? So that's the important difference between IE and EG. They do not have the same meaning. They're used differently, okay? And so when you use them in your writing, it's good. Just make sure you use it correctly. If you don't use it correctly, the examiner catches it, they're going to be like, eh, but if you use it correctly, they're going to be like, aha, okay, this student is awesome. Okay, so does everybody understand that? Everybody clear on the difference between IE and EG? Give me some thumbs up, and then we'll go on to today's task 2 question, and we're going to get rocking and rolling and moving along step by step to develop our introductory paragraph. Okay. Carolina, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's for one item. It just means to be specific. So anytime, Carolina, that you want to express to be specific, or more specifically, you use IE. In this case, I used it for this example, but it doesn't necessarily have to be used for one specific item. It could be used for a group of items, for instance, okay? All right, good. So we've got some thumbs up. Everybody's good on the IE and the EG. Awesome. We're going to circle back to that later when we're in the body paragraphs tomorrow. So remember this kind of starting tip for today's lesson. Okay, Nolan, nice of you to get in there with the thumbs up. Okay, students, so here's our IELTS Task 2 question of the day. And when you are getting to the task 2 question, make sure to read it really slowly and really carefully, okay? So IELTS task 2 writing. Read this slowly, don't rush it. If you understand the question incorrectly, you will do horribly on this writing essay, and it will have a terrible effect on your writing score. So read it slow and careful, slow and careful. Okay, here we go. So you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Make sure to spend 40 minutes. Many people think that technology is the solution to major world problems such as pollution. Others feel it is more important for people to change their behaviors and consume less. Discuss both sides. Always really pay attention when it says this, because you have to discuss both sides for task completion. And give your own opinion. Use examples from your own experience to support your position. Write at least 250 words. At least means minimum. So that means that if you don't write 250 words, you're losing marks for task completion. If you write 250 words, you're much better off, but it still doesn't mean you're getting a great score. You have to have good content, and that means often writing closer to 300 words. Okay, so the first step is to paraphrase the question, just so you make sure you understand it clearly and you get some good vocabulary. Now, paraphrasing the question is not your introduction, okay? So this is not, and I know a lot of members already know this because I say it every time, but the reason that I keep saying this is not your introduction is because so many students still think that all you need for an introduction for the IELTS essay is to paraphrase the question. No, that's a band 6, maximum a band 7 if you write a perfect essay, okay? But it's not the best way to get high band scores, all right? So paraphrase the question. This is not your introduction. This is simply to gather vocabulary, to help you think, to make sure that you understand it clearly, okay? So A lot of individuals believe that All right, so while you're doing your paraphrasing, I'm doing mine, and I'm going to go step by step and explain it for you. So here I have many people think that technology is the solution. You can go word by word when you're first doing this. So I wrote a lot of individuals, many people think, believe, that technology is basically innovation. So it's new kinds of inventions, new types of gadgets. So that innovation means like new ideas, new inventions, okay? That inventions are the fix. Is the solution, are the fix. Or is the fix, maybe? No, innovations, plural, right? So are the fix. And then you can go phrase by phrase. So you can look at an entire phrase like major world problems such as pollution. And instead of major world problems, I said many of the global challenges. And instead of pollution, I said such as environmental degradation. Degradation is kind of like destruction. So destroying or unbuilding of the environment, okay? All right, so that's my first sentence paraphrased. Let me read that to you as a whole sentence. So the original sentence reads, many people think that technology is the solution to major world problems such as pollution. And then my paraphrase is a lot of individuals believe that innovations are the fix to many of the global challenges such as environmental degradation. Now, paraphrasing is not a waste of time because these sentences will become useful in your essay. And again, they will help you understand the question and write clearly, okay? So others feel that it is more important for people to change their behaviors and consume less, okay? So opponents, right, because it's other people. Ascertain is kind of a fancy word to say feel. That it is more vital, instead of important, vital. Vital means important for life. That it is vital for humans to alter their routines and decrease consumption. Okay, so I'm changing the grammar there. Express both views and provide your own perspective. Okay, use instances from your own life to strengthen your opinion. So I've gone and paraphrased the whole question, okay? And that's really good to do because that way you're going to have clarity, you know exactly what you need to do, and you're going to be much, much better off, okay? All right, so here's my full paraphrase. We've got lots of others paraphrasing now in the chat, which is fantastic. Okay, and I see that Nabeen had some good answers there for EG as well. That's very good. Okay, so here's the original sentence, or here are the original sentences. Many people think that technology is the solution to major world problems, such as pollution. Others feel that it is more important for people to change their behaviors and consume less. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. Use examples from your own experience to support your position. Okay, so for me, this means a lot of individuals believe that innovations are the fix to many of the global challenges such as environmental degradation. Opponents ascertain that it is more vital for humans to alter their routines and decrease consumption. Express both views and provide your own perspective. Use instances from your own life to strengthen your opinion. Okay, I think they both kind of say the same. June writes, numerous individuals ascertain that technological advancements play an important role in resolving the prevalent global issues like environmental degradations, while other people believe that these problems can be better addressed if the populace adjust their behavioral habits by reducing their consumption on natural resources. Okay, very good, June. June, work on making it concise. Okay, so a bit shorter. Like you can just say adjust their habits instead of behavioral habits. You don't need behavioral. Okay, habits are behaviors, especially if you say humans. Okay, so keep it concise. Okay, concise. Jyoti writes, certain individuals ascertain that telecommunications mitigate world's prime issues like adulteration. Opponents believe that it is inhabitants who have to alter their attitudes and limit to dominate. Jyoti, it almost reads like you're using a piece of software to translate it or something. It's quite off. There seems to be quite a few awkward, incorrect words there. So you want to retry that. It's very confusing for me. Like telecommunications refers to telephones and radio towers, so it doesn't really make sense here. Okay, so you got to rewrite that, Jyoti. All right, Mal says the majority of people believe that more technological advancement is the likely way of solving pollution crisis. Okay, Mal, it's not a bad start. You want to continue with that. Rahul Preet says most individuals ascertain that AI is the solution to global challenges like environmental detriment. On the contrary, people think that changes in habits and less consumption will fix these problems. Rahul Preet, careful not to pigeonhole yourself. Okay, so technology doesn't just mean AI. AI is simply artificial intelligence, but we're talking about technology in general, not necessarily just AI. Okay, so students, when you're paraphrasing, check your paraphrasing. Make sure the words are correct. Make sure you're being accurate. Okay. All right. So what's the topic here? What are we talking about, everyone? Always identify the topic. Step 2. Clearly identify the topic before you start writing. If you start writing without identifying the topic, you are in a very, very, very dangerous situation to get a low band score because you're going to write off topic, or you'll have a low quality essay, it'll be poor. So you have to really focus and make sure that you clearly identify the topic, okay? So clearly identify the topic before you start writing. When you are thinking about the topic, simply ask yourself the question, what are we specifically discussing in this essay? Okay. So Janelle says global problems. I disagree, Janelle. It's not global problems. It's maybe part of it. Okay. So, nope, it's not global problems. You have to be a little bit more accurate than that, Janelle. A good try. Okay. Jyoti says world's major problems. Yeah, okay, we've got the right topic by June. Okay. June says solutions. Okay. And it's not just solutions, but it's like the solution, right? So, solutions. Yeah, Rajveer Singh says ways to fix global problems. Yes. More specifically, when you're presented with two sides here, you can, and you could introduce a third side because it says give your own opinion, but I don't recommend doing that in the IELTS. I recommend sticking to just the two sides that they present. So technology and or behavior as the fix or as the solution to global problems. Okay, yeah, so all of you who are talking about, or you're saying the topic as the solution or the fixes to global problems, you're right. To be more specific, you can even just focus on the two sides that are given here. So you can focus on this, let's choose a different color here. You can focus on this, technology and or behavior as the solution to global problems. Okay, that's the topic. That's what we are talking about. Okay. All right. And the controlling idea here, so more specifically, is the correct solution to global problems. Okay? And of course the reasons. All right, so that would be it. All right, so let's get into some what, why, how questions. That's the next step. So some quick critical thinking. Okay, and you don't have to just think about one what question or one why question. When you're doing this in the IELTS exam, it's good to have lots of these what, why, how questions going through your head. They have to be correct questions, but they have to be the right questions, okay? So we want to ask the right questions here, okay? So the first question that I would ask here is, what solutions does technology provide? Okay, so that would be my first question that I would ask myself, right? So give me some ideas here, students. What solutions does technology provide? And Lewis says how to solve global problems. Lewis, try not to approach it from a question perspective, but from a statement perspective, like solutions to global problems for the topic. So always approach the topic not from the question, but from the statement, okay? So write this as a statement, right? Okay, so what solutions does technology provide? Okay. Efficient use of energy, like solar panels, okay? Or, for example, recycling, okay? Metal and glass, okay? So I'm kind of answering the how question here as well. Yeah, so Harwinder says clean energy without using fossil fuels. Yeah, exactly. So I like to go always with the positive side, Harwinder. So instead of saying without using fossil fuels, I want to say efficient use of energy, like solar energy or wind energy. Okay. So recycling, like metal and glass. Technology to clean up the environment. There's a lot of great technology emerging to help clean the environment as well, okay? So absolutely, all right. So June says air and water purifiers. Filters, purifiers. Yep, absolutely. Okay, and then why does technology focus on this? And then, of course, the answer is humans have polluted the land, water, and air. And we can just stop there, okay? All right, now we could take the other side of this, right? So what kinds of behaviors can help to fix world problems. Now, when the question gives you the one problem as an example, like pollution, you should focus on that in your essay. So don't start talking about different kinds of problems like economy and war and such. But focus on the one that is given to you by the question. Okay, so if the question says pollution, then focus on pollution in your essay. You're not writing this for university. It's not 10 pages long, so you don't really have time to go off on different kind of concepts, okay? All right, so what kinds of behaviors can help fix world problems? Okay, so let's say reusing materials, like a coffee cup. Okay. What else? So what kinds of behaviors? Buying less merchandise. Focus on needs, not wants. Okay. Janelle says not using plastic bags, using paper or cloth bags. Yeah. Not using plastic bags. Sure. Okay. So again, you don't have to go too far here. Okay. All right. So we're almost there, but before we can write our thesis, so that's going to be step 4, is to write the thesis. It's the sentence that explains your argument, right above my head there. So before we write our thesis statement, okay, thesis statement is going to be very, very important, but before we do that, we need to ask another question. What is that question? So I don't want to rush here. If I were to write my thesis right now, then I'm going to miss a very important point for this essay so that I can get that really high band 8, band 9. So what is that question? Okay, asking good questions is super, super important in the IELTS. So you have to ask a good question here. What is that good question? We're missing one really important key question here to make this essay great. What is that question? Okay. Carolina says how. Not quite Carolina, because today I'm kind of going a little bit faster, so showing you how to combine the how and the what, why. So when I say coffee cup or reusable coffee cup or not using plastic bags, that's kind of the how question. Okay, so Rajveer says, my opinion, which is better between these two? So it's on the right track, but it's not the exact question I'm looking for, Rajveer. Okay, so yeah, don't forget about your opinion. Which side do you agree with? Okay, you're thinking correctly, Rajveer. However, it's not quite the question. Now you have to think about the question. So what is the question that we want to ask here? So Mr. Rahul Preet is asking another question that's also on the right track. Rahul Preet is asking, can both technology and behavior help with reducing the problem? Yeah, so your brains are kind of working in the right sphere or in the right area of the question, but you're not there yet. Okay, you're not there yet. And whether or not you agree with one side or both sides depends on this answer. Okay. So the question that I'm thinking of would be, why are both of these solutions considered for fixing global problems? So that would be my question. Okay, so what you should be thinking of here is why? Why is this question asking me technology and behavior? So why is it presenting me with both of these solutions suddenly? So what's the logic of the person or the exam maker, in this case, the IELTS exam maker? What's their logic of giving me both of these possible solutions? So why is that? Why now? Why, like 100 years ago, you probably would not have heard both of these. And then even like in, let's say, the 90s or at the start of the 2000s, we often heard one but not the other. Like, well, people have to change their behavior. Or then you started to hear kind of people saying, oh, technology is becoming important for this. So why are we nowadays hearing people talk about technology and behavior more and more often together when we're talking about world problems? Okay, so why are we considering both? Okay, and I think that if you think about this, you're going to come up with a very important answer, which will make this essay a lot better and will help you to secure good content and a good opinion. Okay, and I really want to write this, and I'm very impatient. I'm like, I know the answer, but I think some of you will come up with the answer. So Carolina says, because they can both be implemented, and there's even a, you're right, Carolina, but there's even a better way to say that. I would say because they both must be implemented. Okay. Rajveer says, it is not possible to fix global issues by implementing one method only. Why? Okay, now you're thinking, right, Rajveer, why? And June says, because they're not contradictory. In fact, they're complementary. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. And our problems have become critical. Okay. So pollution, food supply, fresh water, fresh air, ozone layer, these types of global warming, these types of issues are becoming critical. Okay. In fact, there's some really negative thoughts out there that it's irreversible now, even if we do implement both. So the reason why we're discussing these is because we've gotten to a part of human history now where we have 8 billion people, and these problems are becoming critical. Okay, so you can't just do a simple one method approach, right? And that's the thought that you have to come to. Okay. So now we can write our thesis statement. Now we can write an effective thesis statement, okay? So I'm going to write my thesis statement. You write a thesis statement, then we'll take a look at it, okay? So Okay, so this would be my thesis statement here. In my opinion, both technology and behavior must be adapted to tackle global issues as the situation or as problems have, I'm going to fix this a little bit, as problems, global problems have become critical and these fixes are complementary. Okay, just checking my parallel grammar there. So in my opinion, both technology and behavior must be adapted to tackle global issues as global problems. I don't want to repeat global, so as world problems have become critical and these fixes are complementary. Okay, let's see what some of our students are coming up with. Mr. Rahul Preet says, according to me, both technological advancements and changing human behavior can the people of the world to tackle global environmental issues like pollution. Yeah, and that works. So Rahul Preet, that will work because I can tell that in your first paragraph, you're going to discuss technological advancements, and in the second one, you're going to discuss human behavior, and you're going to conclude and include your opinion that both of these are necessary. So that works, Rahul Preet. Good. Okay. Bandita says, in my view, both technology and behavior need to be adopted to resolve global problems as they are a threat to mankind. Yeah, Bandita, very good. So nice, I can see your position. I can see where you're going with this. Nolan says, in my point of view, both technology and human behavior must be utilized for global issues as problems have become major and these need to be fixed. Yeah, that works. Notice my correction, students, as I'm reading your thesis statements. Very nice, Nolan. Okay. June writes, I believe that both technological innovations and people's actions are key to solving world issues as they both need to be implemented for effectiveness. Okay, you don't need to say better effectiveness, just effectiveness, June. Okay, Janiel says, I think that both technology and human habits are vital solutions to fixing global problems because they must be needed for efficiency and outcomes, okay, for positive efficiency and outcomes, okay? Something like that, Janiel, for the end, okay? Miyen, in my point of view, the best solution to effectively solve global issues are both human behavior and technological advancements as they are complementary. Very good, Mian. So again, a couple of key corrections there, but you're definitely on the right track. All right, great job, students. So now we can start our introductory paragraph. Okay, so you're all on the right track. Now we can start our introduction. Introductory paragraph. Okay, it has three parts. A good introductory paragraph has three parts: a hook, background, and thesis. Okay, your hook is a simple sentence that introduces the topic. Okay, and keep it simple and make it interesting. Let it catch your reader. So again, when we hop back up here, the topic here is technology and or behavior as the solution to global problems. Okay, so just like this, there is much debate in the world whether technology or behavior, technological, I want to paraphrase, or I want to be parallel grammar right away from the beginning, whether technological advancement or human behavior are the key to solving world issues. Okay, so that is my hook. It's a little bit long in this case. Maybe somebody will give us a more concise, shorter hook. If you go with a little bit of a more shorter general hook, like it is important to find solutions to major world problems before it's too late, that could be a good one as well. Okay, so you could go with something really short like this. This would still be quite accurate to the topic and definitely very powerful to catch the audience. So it is vital to find solutions to world problems before human extinction. Ooh, okay, that would really catch the reader's attention, all right? Most people, of course, fear human extinction, so that would work well. Janiel writes, nowadays people are taking care of Mother Earth through technology and behavior. Okay, that would be good, Janiel, as well. So you're going for the positive side. So now people care for Mother Earth by technology and behavior. Okay, we can simplify that even more, Janiel. All right, and then we want to write the background, right? So the background means, like, what are the definitions and why are we discussing this? So certain innovations and habits are targeting challenges such as pollution and overpopulation. To ensure the survival of our species, these issues must be addressed effectively. Okay, so there's my background, simply explaining what we're talking about and why we're talking about it. Welcome Trang and welcome Babu to our group of members, by the way. It's fantastic to have you on board. So here is my introduction so far. It is vital to find solutions to world problems before human extinction. Certain innovations and habits are targeting challenges such as pollution and overpopulation. To ensure the survival of our species, these issues must be addressed effectively. And then I can just put my thesis in there. In my opinion, both technology and behavior must be adapted to tackle global issues as world problems have become critical and these fixes are complementary. Okay, and now my thesis is a little bit redundant because of my background, so I can change this a little bit and take out some of the repetitive words. Okay. All right, so simplifying, making it concise. The more you can say with less words, the higher your band score, okay? All right, Mal says, the world needs technology combined with individual responsibility to tackle these issues efficiently as quickly as possible, okay? All right. Yeah, absolutely, Jainil. Let's put a comma in there. Okay. All right. So this is my introductory paragraph. It is vital to find solutions to world problems before human extinction. Certain innovations and habits are targeting challenges such as pollution and overpopulation. To ensure the survival of our species, these issues must be addressed effectively. In my opinion, both technology and behavior can be adapted to tackle world problems, as these fixes are complementary. All right, so I have the words world problems here. I have challenges. I have issues. So instead of world problems, I can say worldly difficulties. Okay. As these fixes are complementary. And now I have a nice, clean introductory paragraph with all of the elements, okay? Rahul Preet says we could say worldwide problems, okay? Yeah, so keep looking for those paraphrases. I could also just use my thesaurus review. You might not see this, but this thesaurus will help me out here. Disputes, contests, arguments, experiments, encounters. No, not quite. Okay, so I'll leave it as is. And now I'm happy with my introductory paragraph, and I can write my body paragraphs and my conclusion based on my thesis statement. Okay, students, so that's how you want to start your task 2, and you want to do that quickly, okay? So basically it should only take you about 6-7 minutes to get to this point. How do you do it? Very simply, okay? So first you read the question in 30 seconds. IELTS writing task 2. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Many people think that technology is the solution to major world problems such as pollution. Others feel that it is more important for people to change their behaviors and consume less. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. Use examples from your own experiences to support your position. Then you write the paraphrase. A lot of individuals believe that innovations are the fix to many of the global challenges, such as environmental degradation. Opponents ascertain it is more vital for humans to alter their routines and decrease consumption. Express both views and provide my perspective. Use instances from my life. Topic, we're talking about technology and or behavior as solutions to problems. Why are we discussing both of these? Because the problems have become critical and we need effective solutions quickly. What are some technological solutions to these problems? More efficient use of energy, recycling of materials, the filtering, the cleaning of the air, the cleaning of the ground and the water, the ocean. What kind of behavioral solutions are we talking about? We're talking about recycling, reusing, for example, reusable coffee cups, paper straws, okay? And that's enough, and I'll think about more as I'm writing, but I want to get to that point, and then I'm writing my introduction. So then I write this paragraph, and I'm off to the races, all right? So I just wanted to show you that when you're practicing this before your IELTS, and you're going through these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, each time you practice, you're going to become very efficient once you get to your exam to create a powerful introductory paragraph. Okay? All right. So Mian is asking a question like, if I say that I agree with one side, does my essay get a lower mark? Not necessarily, Mian. You could make a one-sided argument. That's a good question. You could make a one-sided argument. Like you could say that it has to be human behavior because there are simply 8 billion people, and it's only through behavioral changes that humans have a chance to save the world. You could make a good argument for that as well, but it just might be a more challenging essay, especially to get a high band score if you take one side. So you could get a band 9 if you just choose one side and you focus on it, but it could become more challenging. Okay, you have to come up with some really clever ideas. Your goal in the IELTS, Mien, is to get a high band score, so you want to choose the easiest path to the band 9. For this question, the easiest path would be to say that both are important for fixing world problems. Okay, Jedrick, welcome to our group of members. It's Jedrick, Alexis, Kyle, C. Garcia. Welcome. It's just at the end of the class, but worry not, everyone. We will continue tomorrow from this point. We're going to continue with the body paragraphs and the conclusion, and we're going to use some of that IE and EG in tomorrow's class for those body paragraphs. So come back then, but don't go too far because we have an IELTS speaking class coming up for everybody. That will be a part 1 speaking, and we're going to be looking at questions that are similar to some IELTS questions that were on the exam last month. Okay, so these will be kind of interesting in this way. So make sure to come back in half an hour, and that will be for everybody. Okay, so everybody will be able to join in on this chat, and I will be calling students to speak with them and analyze their IELTS speaking responses. So thank you, Carolina, for moderating the class. Thank you to all of our new members who joined. I believe we had about 4 or 5 new members join this class. That's fantastic. Again, students, remember aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Use the code R4TYJ for that 20% discount. Our websites look like this. Click this red button. This is a one-time payment. For lifetime access, Hasna says, that was so fast. I know, Hasna, when you're having fun, time flies. We were here for a whole hour, right? It's fast for me too. Like I'm like, wow, that was an hour? But yeah, that was an hour. So you're very welcome, Harwinder. And again, for academic IELTS, everybody, you want to use this website here. Let me just get out of my student account here. So let's have a look on your phone. You want to use this website here, and you can click that giant red button there to join our premium package. That's it for now. I'll be back in half an hour for another hour of IELTS fun, but that will be for speaking, and everybody can join. So come back in an hour. Okay, everyone, I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now, but I'll be back soon. Bye.